bottomed up, and you don't have to be short form anything in any of your explanations, articulations, anything like that. Tell it like it is, okay? You can cuss on here just as long as you use it the right way. That's all we say. I'm ready when you are, JC.
All right.
Kick this sumbitch off.
All right, everybody, let's do. All right. Key Factors Podcast. Here we go in 3, 2, 1.
And welcome back to another episode of Key Factors Podcast Real Estate AF, where the AF stands for And Finance, and I'm your host, Mark Jones. And we are powered by ReviewMyMortgage.com, the largest index of mortgage programs in the nation. And on the last discussion we had, we were talking in depth about business planning, and we talked a little bit about 2025's business plan. But today, I wanted to dig and dive deeper into some expert opinions, plans, and what they have going for 2025. So I brought along some juggernauts in the industry that I want to introduce. So without further ado, I'm going to start with Lulu Bishop. How are you?
I'm great.
Doing well?
Yes.
Good. And then we got JJ. What's up, JJ?
How you doing, brother? How are you?
Doing very well. And to my direct right, I've got Robert Armandade.
2 first-timers.
Yeah, two first timers. Now, first time on a podcast?
No.
But on the best one.
Yeah.
Of course. So guys, at the beginning of this discussion, I want to give you a moment to kind of tell us who you are, why people should listen to the stuff that you're going to be talking about today. Who wants to take it first?
I think ladies first.
Ladies first. I like it. Chivalry is not dead.
Yes. So Lulu Bishop, lead agent at the L Bishop Group at Keller Williams City View. I have been in the real estate industry as a realtor for 7 years with City View. Prior to that, I have 23 years of custom new build experience with homes.
Okay. And how did you get into the business?
23 years of custom new build homes.
Prior to
since
that?
I was a child, yeah.
I love it.
And I like this better, honestly, because when you build a custom home, you can be with one family from anywhere 6 months to a year.
Yeah.
Which is great. They were all lovely families, but this, I can help so many more people.
Absolutely.
And if you don't like the person, it's only maybe 2 months tops.
That's so true. Yeah. That is so true. JJ, how about you, man?
20 years and 4 months in real estate. I do commercial real estate primarily, and I'm a business coach with Success Magazine at Success Based on Bidders in 1604. And so I'm really excited to talk about 2025, getting ready.
I'm excited to hear what you got to say.
Yeah.
Robert, how's it going, brother?
Yeah, so I'm Robert Armandade. I'm a financial advisor and founder of Presidio Wealth, which is my own financial advisory firm. I've been in the finance game. I know, right? Been in the finance game going on 9 years now.
Okay.
So
I met Rob at a networking event. It was probably his first or second networking event.
yeah.
Really?
I'm 30. I probably met JJ at 22, 23.
Mocoso.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
still went
It's a
behind the
baby.
Yeah, I'm telling you, man.
gunslinger.
Telling you, man.
So how did you get into that industry?
Dude, the short story, long story.
I mean, give me a medium story, because for me, I was at Chase. I did the whole refer to your FA. We had to be licensed.
Yeah, that makes sense.
They called you somewhat of a financial advisor, but you really didn't know shit.
No, so to me, it was more of curiosity. Mm-hmm. So I graduated college in May of 16, and October of 15, my grandmother suddenly passed. Very unexpected. And that was my mom, because I grew up with just me and my dad.
Okay.
So my grandmother passed October of 15. And then going into the holidays of, Thanksgiving and Christmas of 15 just wasn't the same anymore.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And that last semester of school, I started asking my dad a lot of questions. And I think it only happens to your family, but it happens to all families now that I've been doing this for like 9 years. And so I asked my dad a bunch of questions about like what happened here, what happened there. And my dad was like, hey, we didn't have anything like lined up. We didn't talk to anybody, et cetera, et cetera. And so I actually talked to my college advisor my last semester, and she asked me how she was really cool. We were really close. I was very vulnerable with her. And so she asked me how the holidays were. I told her the truth. And then I was like, hey, by the way, like my family's going through this, et cetera, et cetera. What do you think? She said, maybe y'all probably need to talk to a financial advisor. And I was like, think that's the thing.
I
And I
wanna do that.
and I was already studying international business and finance. I just really didn't know what I want to do. I just know I don't like working for people.
Yeah.
The only person who can tell me what to do is my dad. And so so yeah, it just kind of just happened. And
Okay. So pretty successful in the industry if he's working with JJ, I would imagine.
For sure.
So guys, we want to open this sucker up. We know that for the masses, the industry of real estate, for the finance side of things, it's been lucrative, I would imagine. For us, not so much. On a larger front, individually, I've talked to people that have had their best year this year.
Yeah.
And it had a lot to do with their needle moving activities, what they did consistently over and over, their plan, their idea of let me look into the future and see what my future is going to look like. Now, let me figure out how I make that happen, putting the steps together, etc. But when we talk about business planning, it has a lot to do with looking back on what you did or did not do the year before.
Right.
That being the case, just opening it up broadly.
I want Lulu to start because she's really humble with that. Her explaining who she is. She's had growth year over year for almost a decade, like straight. I've seen her expand from a single agent to a husband and wife team to
I fixed that.
That's a source. Yeah, that one's fixed. And then she has these two awesome girls that are on her team right now. She runs lean. She runs mean. She's growth year over year. She's probably the most referred agent on Facebook that I've ever seen in my life. So
I am.
She is.
I love it. I love it.
Yeah, she's awesome. She's being
matter
humble.
of fact, Jackie Silva, my operations manager, mentioned that.
I know her.
Oh, you do? Okay, very good. She went to high school with your.
My ex-husband.
There you go. Shout out.
Hey, Jackie.
There you go. So go for it. Take it away.
So San Antonio Business Journal, by the way, number 3 in the city last year, and
Flex.
number 2 with NAREP in the city this year, number 67 NAREP nationwide.
Boom.
So just putting it out there.
Two
But,
away from greatness.
yeah.
Let's
And
go.
I'm happy with that, especially after the last year that has been full of transition for me.
Yeah.
I do prioritize running leanly. So I have an admin, I have a showing agent, and every single day you have got to set up your routine for success. You've got to move that needle.
Yeah.
Our job is lead gen. That's all it is.
Yeah.
That and facilitating and helping people. If you do those two things, I think almost in any industry, it's going to take care of itself.
And I love that you said that because it almost takes all the nuances that everybody is causing themselves to
Shiny objects.
all of the
1000%.
things and
1000%.
simplifies it down to 2 simple things. Now, obviously, there's plenty of things that spiderweb off of that.
Yeah.
But in its simplistic state, I love it. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Well, it's simple, but it's not always easy. So, and you can do it whether you have a large budget. I personally don't buy leads. I don't do any of that. I never have. I focus more on relationships, whether it's agent to agent nationwide, which I am one of the top realtors that does that.
Yep.
Which is very easy though in our city because we are a military city.
Absolutely.
So that is something that anyone can focus on. Whatever you can do to grow your business, whether it's going to conferences, you have got to, especially in this current state of our industry with an NAR lawsuit, we have got to stay educated. If we are at all confused, can you imagine what the public is?
Yeah,
Absolutely.
1000%.
And then we're also evolving on how we handle it because it's something that is not static. It is changing. So we have to adjust our forms. We have to adjust our conversations. We have to adjust our scripts, which is all that scripts are, our conversations.
And mindset.
Yes. And we have to be prepared. And it doesn't matter who's in the presidency. It doesn't matter who's in, none of that matters. You've got to be able to run your business no matter what.
Yeah.
And you've got to find a way to do that. And you have to pivot, which I think is something that's been overused since COVID.
Yeah.
But truly, you have to think on your feet. But that's also what makes our industry, I think, exciting.
Yeah.
It's
I
not
have
boring.
to agree. Yeah, I have to agree with that. I couldn't see myself, I'll be honest, I couldn't see myself as a financial advisor.
No, yeah.
Simply because it is dealing with the same concept over and over. Now, mind you, do you guys have issues that arise? Do you have fires that come up? Maybe not. I think there's a lot of fires in our industry.
Their strategy.
They're very strategy
and strategic.
Absolutely.
And it's cool. But just to piggyback on what Lou said, I think that there's this pent up demand. Mm-hmm. And the reason why there's market is weird, or I did this class called Shift Happens, because shift does happen, right?
Yeah.
It's my 5th shift because my dad was a broker for 30 years. And so I felt savings and loans, 2001. I was in 2008. But Lulu's right. What I think has happened is, since if you look at the numbers in San Antonio Board of Realtors, 86% of all realtors got their license after 2013. Mm-hmm. So they've only seen this, right?
That's right.
So,
including myself as on the lending side.
There's nothing wrong
I've
with
gotten
that.
to see all of these realtors go through their
Totally.
woohoo.
I know.
Even the brokers and all the people that have brokerages, they've all been in this, right?
Yeah.
So just talking about a market, right, with Rob. So if you only know how to talk like this, you don't know how to do a price amendment. You don't know how to you don't know what absorption rate is, because there hasn't been any absorption rate. All you're doing is let me throw you into a house as fast as humanly possible, and here's the dialogue to do that. The only reason that our market is shifty, right, is because we don't, these old, look at the barba, these old guys like me aren't
Trying to look like you at your age.
Yeah, whatever. Aren't out there having the conversations that Lulu does. And Lulu does because she educates herself at a national level and she knows what to say to clients. But if there were buyer's agents showing buyer's agents absorption rates and saying hey, let's strategize off of, because San Antonio is so big. Here's the problem. San Antonio is so big, we have sub-markets inside of huge markets. So
I have to agree, yeah.
People are going to USA and their water cooler talk, or they're grabbing coffee and they're, you know what? This dude, JJ, can't sell my house. I'm about to fire him. They're going to be like, well, Lulu sold my house in 3 days. And they're going to be like, well, JJ sucks. And I'm like, well, JJ doesn't suck, because you're in this subdivision in Converse that for whatever reason has a 17-month absorption rate,
in
and
addition
Lulu
to foundation issues and everything else that could come along
or
with
whatever.
the territory. Yeah.
And then Lulu just happened, because she's awesome, priced the house right, and she sold a house in Terrell Hills in 3 days. Those are two different markets completely. And if we don't have agents talking about absorption rates and talking about how strategy differs between 0 to 3, which is a seller's market, which is, by the way, all we've known since 2016, to 4 to 6, which is a even market. And that's where us real estate agents look completely useless, because the sellers go, damn, dude, you gave the house away. And the buyer's like, bro, you didn't give me anything, right? That's the 4 to 6.
There was a couple of things that you mentioned there that
Sure.
I want to just first see if there's any discrepancies here.
Sure.
Because historically, once we hit about 6 months worth of inventory, that's considered a seller's market.
Buyer's market.
A buyer's market, right? So essentially...
But it's only in some sub-markets here in San Antonio. So we're putting a blanket... We have blanket dialogues all over the city.
Let me finish. So
yeah, you're good. My bad.
That being said, I feel as though this could be the very first time that we get to about 6 months, and it's still not really a buyer's market.
It is in a lot of ways, and let me tell you why. Because of what I'm saying, because these agents they're allowing their sellers to overprice themselves, because they only know to do that. They used to just be they never got good at market analysis. They never got good at absorption rates. They never got good at setting expectation up front. If I go to listing presentation, I'm like, dude, there's a 9-month absorption rate. That's longer than most of my relationships.
It's true. And now I say this quite often
right? But real quick, then why would I take a 6-month listing?
Yeah.
Do you see what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
And so what happens is this new agent does it, they crap the bed, I take their photos, and then I do it right. And that's what's happening in the market is just, unlike Lulu, which is a queen of everything. There's a lot of agents that don't know what they're saying to their clients. They're not setting expectation up front. So everyone's being like, dude, why are some houses selling at 3 days and some are selling after 19 months? And it's, like she said, scripts and dialogues.
Well, you said it without actually saying it in that monologue that you just had. The idea behind what has taken place since 2013, we'll call it.
Yeah.
It's been up. All the way up. And the newer to the business, and we can even, not even after 2020.
Yeah.
You never really needed to or had the opportunity to establish the basics.
You never had to work on your game.
That's right.
You didn't have to work on scripts and dialogues and neuro-linguistic programming, talking to people if they, like I felt unneeded. I felt like Robert Ory, because you notice that Robert Ory didn't do crap during the season, and then right around the playoffs, they start to dust his ass off. Remember that?
It's true.
So I felt like Robert Ory, because I was like, dude, I like being a coach, like no one needed me, right? Like if you... if you were like halfway decent, pretty, or tall and had a super key, like I was like, dale gas, because you're doing whatever.
You couldn't even do movies.
And I'm like Robert Orr on the sidelines, like, damn, they don't need me anymore. They just don't need me anymore. And then now it's a playoffs, baby, so dust me off because I'm back.
No, and that makes sense. It makes good sense. The idea behind this market shift and what we're seeing, in my opinion, is causing a lot of realtors to not only get out of the business, but the ones that are staying in the business.
Yeah,
and we all agree. We all agree on that.
That's great.
But the idea behind this business planning for 2025, it's tough to gauge what you did last year if we're going into a market you've never experienced.
I think
before.
it goes further than that. And to be
Tell
honest,
us why.
to be honest with you, bro, I think that
Don't lie to me.
I don't like 1-year plans. Because 1-year plans are like, like she was just saying, it's such a volatile industry and you have to bob and weave so quickly. Mm-hmm. And if you only plan till December 31st of 2025, that's where people get derailed with shiny objects. If you can actually see the vision of 2030,
Sure.
hopefully, because that's tough.
That is very, very
And
tough.
I just send you what my vision is for 2035, like a 10-year goal. Is so much. That's where you can keep the eye on the prize. That's where you're marching towards this like if you're going to battle Greece, you're looking at the Parthenon, like you're going that way, and it's you can't go on the side roads. I feel like you're like, hey, I'm just gonna go to that little flag right there. Well, then you get distracted, bro. And
it's almost the idea of you can't go down the side roads, but there's a mountain. Guess what? We got to start digging today.
Yeah, you have
to get there by this amount of time.
And so I think people get distracted. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, no, I'm sorry. But here's the thing, though. This is a normal market. I come from 07, 08 new builds.
Yeah.
That was a terrifying market.
Absolutely. I wasn't in
That
it.
was terrifying
I was actually
in
in
the
a
country
chase.
no matter what.
Remember they just turned it off?
So I've actually noticed
Everything,
in the finance game, it's all perspective, right? So like one thing I'm a big quote guy, so I'll be throwing because that's just how I learn.
Yeah.
I'm like a one-line learner. I think the past couple of years, I think I've noticed people have just been so spoiled that when things correct themselves and go the way they should be, they think things are going bad. And I'm like, this is actually like interest rates, for example. I'm like, have you asked your parents how their first house?
And the first response,
Exactly.
the first response you'll get is what?
And
Well, the houses
the houses were cheaper. Yeah, the houses
yeah.
were cheaper. But a lot of it too.
So was the income.
Yeah.
You're right.
Yeah. So it's all perspective, right? That's one thing I've noticed. Now, I know like on the finance game, it's funny because my favorite part of my career is the psychology of it. I love that. Like my favorite thing to do is meet with the client and truly try to get into their shoes and into their head and understand where they're coming from, because money is all psychological.
That's
It is
true.
all psychological. And my mentor always said, when you look at money as numbers, you have a plan. When you look at numbers as money, you become greedy. Right. So to me, it's just about truly understanding the perspective of where someone's coming from. And I work hard to do that. I really work hard to try to understand perspective and perception and where people are coming from. But going to,
if that is something that you do focus on, that's something that many aren't able to, in my opinion, because they're so caught up in the right now.
So my business is Presidio Wealth. Okay. So Presidio is where I'm from. I'm from a very small town in West Texas, and the reason I call it Presidio Wealth,
the apartments over there.
Yeah,
the
so
Mediterranean.
If you go to like the
I can
Big
tell you
Bend-
some stories.
I know, right? If you go to like, and I've been told that before. If you go down to the Big Bend in West Texas, you're going to see these little bitty towns everywhere. I'm from one of those little bitty towns, but the thing about where I'm from is you got to treat everybody with respect, understand their perspective. Why? Because you're definitely going to see them at the supermarket. You're definitely going to see them at church. You're going to go to school with them, et cetera, et cetera. You can't avoid them because the city's not. I mean, it's like 6,000 people when I left there. So because of that, I really take the time to simplify everything and understand where you're coming from.
Yes,
that's just how I am.
Well,
right? So
I think most of us here have so much, and I'm going out on a ledge.
Yeah.
Most of us here have so much going on that we can't overcomplicate things.
Correct.
We don't have time.
We don't have time to overcomplicate.
Matter of fact, we were listening to what the hell's his name? What did that inspirational Tom Ferry?
Tom Ferry.
And
he was eating you up, dog.
Dude, he was
Literally,
and I appreciated it.
Yeah.
because that's something that I needed at that time. But there was one thing that he said that I 100% relate with: making decisions. There are decision-making questions, problems, issues that, yeah, you may need to think about them.
Right.
But 99% of them, make a decision, move on.
Lulu, what do you tell buyers that are on the fence?
You can't have it both ways because no, seriously, you can't.
Trade-offs.
You have to.
I love her.
So this is the thing though. I kind of thrive on difficult conversations,
Okay.
and I look at it as my job is to simplify things as much as possible. And I've had buyers tell me, well, this house is overpriced. I'm going to wait for the rates to go down. Okay, but understand when the rates go down, prices are going to go up. You
Yes.
can't ever have it both
Preach,
ways.
girl.
You can't. You can't have your cake and eat it
that
too.
in itself is something that we hear so often, but yet we're also doing our best to educate, repeat that concept because it is true. Like the water in the ocean is blue.
But right now, though, it's an excellent time to buy a house. And I know I do sound really salesy, which I'm not, but it is because pricing is negotiable. We have the most leverage we've had in a long time.
That's right.
It is very much a buyer's market. People are make an issue out of the rates because they're not used to paying 10, 11, 13% like in the past.
That's right.
But rates are not permanent. You can refinance.
In addition, I'll piggyback on what you're saying. It's misperception.
Well, we call it in the finance game, we call it trade-offs. So
Okay.
there's a funny saying in Spanish, but I'm going to say it in English. It's you can't ask for a ride and want to drive. And we've noticed that a lot
Say
of
it in
people...
Spanish.
No puedes pedir ride y querer manejar.
There you go.
Right? So it's like...
I like how he said ride too.
Yeah, you can't ask for a ride and
That's
want to
Presidio
drive.
for you.
And like, I know, right? And I honestly always say that in meetings because everybody wants, I want my money to grow. I'm like, yeah, but it's risk. Well, I don't want to take risk. I'm like, no, estás pidiendo right to get it. You know what I mean? Like, and that's how it is in the real estate game. It's I want this. It's like, well, if you want these two, you're going to have to sacrifice the third. No, I don't want that.
I say what's good for the goose is good for the gander, right? Because whatever you're going to make up from this list price, I'm going to go find it to you over there. I said, what's good for the goose is good for the gander. The only one that gets screwed is the sitting duck. Because that's the one that's just
right.
watching both sides on the
Now,
side.
let me ask each of you this. That what we're talking about, do you believe that it is a generational thing that we need to get over and the only way to get over it is to continue to educate, or is it something that is injected by the media?
It's media.
We're buying
Yeah,
into it.
I think it's important to understand where, like I said earlier, is understanding the perspective. I'm when someone explains to me their opinion or their idea of something, I never argue against it or agree with it. The first thing I do is I try to understand where'd you get it. Mm-hmm. Where did you get
TikTok.
it? Yeah, I mean, I used to get like. Not anymore as much, but like 2 TikTok videos a day. Rob, what do you think about this?
Yeah,
I'm like, that's a
can't
millionaire
even-
problem, and you're a thousandaire. Like, that's, right? So it's like, yeah, you're so. But I try to understand like where'd you learn this, right? And when you, my mentor asks questions. The more questions I ask, I realize they're like, well, I don't know why I listen to it. I'm like, yeah, I don't know why you listen to it either, right? But JJ said it best: the shiny object syndrome is huge. Like especially now with crypto and real estate and investing.
Tell me what
did I say?
you tell me what you told me about XRP.
The hype.
You sell the
Oh, so like with stocks,
love this.
I mean, most people, what is it? You buy the rumor, sell the news. I think with
Because and just to kind of layman terms it down for our audience here, the stock market, and you heard the audio a little while ago when I said,
yeah,
it's a fugazi.
Yeah.
The idea
love
is
that movie.
it is somewhat fake, simply on
It's
speculation
consumer confidence. That's it.
or lack thereof.
supply and
Or lack
demand. I mean, it's simply supply and demand.
Yeah.
It really is. So
So
I mean,
applying
but
that
say-
to real estate. Oh no, go for it. Go for it.
So you say in stock you say you got to buy the rumor and sell the news, right?
right.
But in crypto it's the other way around.
Exactly. Which is interesting, right? So that's another
I sold all
shiny
my
object
Bitcoin.
syndrome.
I'm so pissed off.
And that's what you and everyone else, right?
Dadgummit.
But again, going back to it, like from COVID to now, man, like every I want to say 6 months, but honestly, it's every 3 months. It's Rob, what do you think about this? I'm like, something else, bro. Like,
Yeah.
like something like you haven't stuck to the plan. Like if you would have stuck to the plan I gave you 5 years ago,
Yeah.
and not switched it up. Right, but everyone and the
Goes
whole,
back to my goal setting, right? It's
yeah,
5 years,
and
not
so,
1 year.
So,
in the past.
so like what Lulu said, I absolutely loved because I always say that, by the way. It's we got to move the needle. We got to move the needle. What are we doing today to move the needle? And that great quote of, we overestimate what we can do in a year, but we underestimate what we can do in 10. And that's what everybody's doing. They're super overestimating what they can do in a year. And it's frustrating because I'm like, dude, if you just would have stuck to the plan 2-3 years ago that we implemented, you would have been fine. But no, this TikTok video said this. My compa said this. Mi tío told me this. My friend told me this.
The compas are always wrong, dude.
The dad.
And it is, but what's hard too is I'm not trying to disrespect anybody.
No, not at all.
Right?
Not at all.
And that's why I really try to work hard because money's up there with religion and politics, right? It's very delicate, very sensitive to talk about. And I'm in the type of career where I'm like, hey, Mark, how much is your house? Right?
I will disagree with you on that simply because religion and politics, those are things that, hey, man, that feelings get involved and all these other things. Money is very logical. And it should be.
To very emotional creatures.
Good point.
So,
Good
and
point.
that's
how do we get them to remove their emotion from just that piece of the equation?
And that's my job. That's what gets
How
tough.
you doing these days?
It gets tough to do sometimes. I mean, it does, but I like it. Like I said, the psychology to me is the best part because I like understanding. And I've told some clients, hey, right now you don't need me. You need to go talk to JJ. Like for what you want and for what you're looking for and for your 10-year plan. Yeah, this is the guy that's going to get you there.
Same.
Right. And if you need an opinion or a professional opinion about a managed account or a brokerage account or whatever, call me. I'll be more than happy to help.
Well, I'm glad I got you on this show because I've got a bone to pick. The idea behind having a financial advisor, and this has nothing to do with what we're talking about, but
give it to me.
I've had many clients, close friends, matter of fact, that when it's time to purchase a home,
They talk crap.
they go, I'm going to talk to my financial advisor first. And I go, the fuck does your financial advisor know about real estate?
Right.
Well, most of
Let
them,
me
most
talk
of
to
them,
him
most of
about
them
his
dog the game.
portfolio.
Most of them dog the game. But
Why is that?
I will never dog the game.
It's because they want their money to be placed where they feel that their money should be placed.
Because they make their money on how much is managed in the current situation.
That and also they're masters of that game, right? So like I would if I was an armchair financial advisor to my client and they're like, I'm going to put some money in, with Rob and then or get a income producing property with Lulu, I'd be like, well, which one of those assets do you have complete control of, right? So,
let's even go more basic than that. I'm buying my first primary residence.
Oh, that's crazy. Right. You have to have that.
And I've got $200,000 sitting in a managed account.
Right.
I'd like to put 20% down so I don't pay mortgage insurance. My payment can be within my budget, et cetera, et cetera. FA goes, I don't know. Let's look at some other options.
But if
you see what I'm saying?
But
So going back to the psychology and the perspective of the human being, right? To me, I was talking to this with a buddy at the office. I love when my clients become my friends. I love it. Mainly, it's probably because of where I'm from.
Sure.
He thought it was crazy, but to me, it's because I'm not in the transactional game. I don't think anybody in real estate is, well, depending on how you do it, but I know my relationship with you has to last decades.
Yeah.
In order for me to be a good advisor. So if
in order to keep
in San Antonio and in San Antonio, here's one thing I've noticed about San Antonio. I'm also the thing that helped me is being fluent in Spanish. But one thing I've noticed about San Antonio is if you have a good reputation or a bad reputation, it's going to spread really quickly in the city.
Yeah.
Very quickly.
Yeah.
So to me, my reputation is more important than my checking account. Way more important. Because I know for a fact, if my reputation is good, my checking account will always be taken care of. Will it be bigger than that financial advisor? Probably not. But here's the thing. I don't care. Right. I'm very confident with who I am.
Well, and again, you're talking about the long game.
Correct.
We can't compare right now to your long game.
Correct. So if going on that situation, if somebody does have $200K in an account and I'm like, hey, you know what? If you do et cetera, and this is going to lower your mortgage payment by $500 a month, this is just an example, do it and invite me to the barbecue on a Sunday.
And then take that extra $500 that you're saving and pay that shit back.
Yeah, and let's figure out a plan with that. Why? Because I want you to sleep at night saying, you know what, Mark, my real estate agent, and Rob, my advisor, they got my best interest at hand. I was like, bro, just invite me to the barbecue.
That's right.
Right? Like
I used to do the same thing. And matter of fact, I would tell them, I'll bring the keg.
Correct. I'll bring the Celsius.
No, we're not sponsored yet. We're not turning this can around until we get sponsored.
But it's you're 100% right though. But again, there's always going to be, that rotten person in any industry.
And in their eyes, they don't see it as rotten. they see it as that's my job.
Correct.
And it's like, are you really being a true financial advisor, or are you just being an investment advisor?
But my dad is my conscience. Like my dad, I've never heard one bad thing about my dad other than he works too hard. And anytime
I've never heard that to be a bad thing.
I know. And that's like the only, like my stepmom now, she's like, why are you up at 6 a.m, right?
Is your dad a business owner?
He is now. He's a cattle farmer in Mexico.
Okay.
So he
Very
worked for Frito-Lay. He's about to retire, and now his second, third career, whatever you want.
Sure.
Is now cattle in Mexico. But my dad's a
go.
Yeah, I don't think the sunrise has ever beat my dad.
That's awesome.
But my dad is my conscience. Like, because I know my dad is always about do the right thing and say what you're gonna do. And if you're gonna be there at 6, like even right now, I feel bad. I thought I was early. I showed up late. But to me, just because I have that conscience, I know I'm not going to do the wrong thing. Like, I'm going to make sure Mark's taken care of.
Yeah.
And hey, if you need me in the future, I'll be here. Like, to me, there's no qualms about it.
And he can still whoop your ass.
And he
Totally.
probably could, yeah.
Lulu, how have you maintained national reputations with so many different agents across the United States?
It goes back to relationships. I mean, it's just relationships. Just like you can have a relationship with your friends, you can have a relationship with your neighbor, you can have a relationship with anyone, and it's just a relationship.
Mm-hmm.
They're truly my
You
friends.
have so many, though.
I'm a likable person. but no, that's what we do. We mastermind. You always have to provide value, and I do that for in every aspect of my life, because that's part of moving the needle. Like, how can I do better today than I did yesterday?
Right.
No matter what it is. Can I
Right.
get more steps? Can I spend more time with my kids? Can I be nicer to, my neighbor? Whatever it is. Honestly, how can I do better? But it goes back to being informed, staying up to date on everything that's going on in our crazy industry.
Pause there. Have you guys noticed that the realtors out there that are listening to the TikToks that are falling into the NAR settlement, scare stuff, are not doing their research, are not engulfing themselves with the education that they should know in order to be the best representative, the best fiduciary for their customer?
Because it takes time, and most people don't want to think and read, and it's easier.
It's much.
Let me
easier.
listen to this minute.
I think it's leadership. Like, I was with KW for 17 and a half years, and they or a training company that happens to do real estate, right? So Lulu's in that game. I was in that game forever. EXP the same way. Like, nothing against the mom and pops and all that, but there's a lot of stuff to do.
Sure.
You have to train people. You have to make sure you and your brokerage doesn't get sued. Do you have the capacity to sit everyone down? Didn't you guys get, you guys sold out an AMC theater and say, yo, this is what's up?
Because they believe that it's important.
It is important if they believe it or not.
I couldn't imagine being on my own right now. I
Right.
really couldn't without the support and the training and all that, because I regularly go ask questions. No one knows everything. And we run across stuff every single day. But it goes back to, I think part of what's most important is setting the TikTok people and all that. Stop making it about you. It's not about you.
Elaborate.
I talked to a seller this morning. Well, I've actually been talking to them all weekend. He and his wife bought a property. They're getting divorced. They bought a property a few months ago. He wants to sell it because he doesn't want to stay in the house. I have been doing my damnedest to convince him to refinance. Would I like to have the listing? Sure, but it's not in his best interest.
Right.
I told him, refinance, run it out, get roommates. You're a dude.
Yeah.
Do something. Wait a year or two, then we can sell.
That's right.
But don't do
Take
this
a moment, allow yourself to take it in, be logical, come up with that plan versus just straight up losing your ass.
And it's not in your best interest. It really isn't. So it's not about me. And you have to look at every single situation because it doesn't have anything to do with you. Your job is to facilitate. And sometimes it's your job to help them see the light and what's actually best for them, because it is emotional. It is scary. And, you want to make a decision to end the pain, whatever that pain is.
Correct. And over the last several years, we'll call it from 2020 till now, I've experienced many transactional real estate agents, lenders that they're flying by the seat of their pants right now.
I told this to Lulu early in her game. I don't know if you remember this, but when Lulu started, she was a new home sales queen because she came from that. Remember, you came from that. And I said, be careful, girl, because unlike the last 4 years, here are real stats. It takes you 7 years to break even on a new home because you're competing against the builder in his second, third, or fourth phase. And so if you want to, again, going back to more than a year to plan, and we'll get to there whenever.
That's right.
If you're planning for a longevity game, if you're planning for 2030 or 2035, do you want and you're trying to build a business around a database that'll feed you and have repeat business, then new homes is scary, kid, because they're not going to be able to call you till year 8, 9, or 10. So you've pretty much decided to grab some money now.
Yep.
Right?
Because it was easy.
Low-hanging fruit.
No, that's the trade-off. That's the trade-off.
And the sales rep helped you close and all that stuff. Because a lot of the newbies do that. They just go and take them.
Drop them off.
I'm like, I hope you have a big database because that one's not going to call you for a decade.
That's right.
And so, again, when you plan more than 1 year in advance.
And if and when they do, are you going to be able to do the right thing?
Will you still be in the game is the question.
Touche.
Will you still be in the game, or am I going to pick them up because I am longevity and you are like, I want a buck now?
Right.
Well, but that's going to be a difficult conversation because you're still competing against the builder. You
Can
don't
you
have
say
the
that
pockets.
one more time? I feel like it's like this untold secret that when realtors send their borrowers to a new construction home, this is what they want, the lower payment, et cetera, et cetera. And it's like, but did you talk to them about what we're talking about here?
I do.
Yeah.
The good ones, the experts, they do. Why? Because they don't want that call
I
in
tell them,
2 years.
you better get comfortable. Like, if you're military, no new home. And that's it. I was like, because I can't do anything for you when you call me in 4 years and you PCS to Germany out and be like, ugh. So I tell them, like, you better love this neighborhood. You better love, how old are your kids? Do you make sure you want this middle school? You make sure you want this high school, because you're going to be here for at least 7 years before you can call me and say, hey, bro, I need to move.
Absolutely.
Unless it's a strategy like Rob would have with someone and say, like, unless we're going to rent this one out and then we're going to bounce. But then you got to make more income, and you have to, like, and how much income are you going to make more in 5 years?
And that's when truly creating that 5-year plan is super important.
Way more important than the business planning for next year.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Way more important. It's 5 or 10 years from now is where you should be thinking.
Yeah. Lulu, go ahead and continue.
No,
Sorry,
well, I deal with people moving from all over the country and all over the world,
You do?
Ramstein. Yes, military. And so and you have to be very, very careful in what you say. And, you can word it certain ways and you can be funny. And I always tell people, because they'll send me a really renovated house, which is beautiful, in a not so great part of town. And I have to tell them, I can't talk about certain
demographics.
things, but I will tell you that generally,
You can talk about crime,
the better.
right?
No.
They won't let you do that?
You have to research.
You can say you should research that on your own.
You should research
Really?
it. You can Google
I
that.
didn't know that.
It is wow.
That's crazy.
It
Well,
is
I can't. I'm commercial. We're all Democrats.
Yeah, no. We have to. So I always
didn't
tell
know
them,
that.
like,
Holy cow.
the sketchier the neighborhood, the better the tacos. So we'll just start. They'll start asking me.
That's a
They will ask me, how good are the tacos? And I will tell them the tacos
This is
are
delicious.
excellent.
Tacos.
The salsa
They're
is off the chain. It's
amazing.
But
yummy.
hold up. When did real estate go low? Why is that?
No.
Is
That's
that discrimination?
Housing of urban
Fair housing. You
housing
can't
of
talk
urban
about
development says that we can't steer them.
But crime rates, school districts.
They got to look that up on their
You
own.
can be the source of the source, but you
Whoa.
cannot be the source.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
That's new.
So I have a thing where I was like, here's some things that you should know. Either if they're looking in Bernie or Alamo Heights or wherever the tacos are good, I still have the thing where I'm like, during your option period, instead of just worrying about an inspection, I tell them to go stay there on a Friday night to see how the neighbors are, because you're going to see them come out,
Absolutely.
right? And there's always an option period that goes
In
over
the
a
front
weekend.
yard.
Yeah, and then
Grab some gas at 10 p.m.,
And there's these websites that say, like, how many kids per classroom, how many, all this stuff about school district, also crime rate, also this one hurts, but I still, the one, that website that shows, like,
pedophiles.
yeah. I was like, look it all up, because
I'll have to maybe mute that part. I think I'm learning. Learning this new algorithm.
Yeah. So
I ask them if their kids know how to fight. Are
Yeah,
they currently
exactly.
in karate,
Yeah.
jiu-jitsu? That kind of
That's awesome.
Lulu's crazy good.
Yeah.
You're crazy girl.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
I didn't. I
No,
mean, that's
we can't.
truly, and
We
I've been
can't.
in this game for a little while
But
now,
again,
since 2012.
Lulu, that's awesome though, because people will fall
not
in love with the house, but not think of all that.
Oh, I do,
Yeah.
and I do video tours because they're not in town when they look at the houses.
Right.
I get lots of great.
Look at this.
Yeah.
Look at
I
this.
get
Do you hear that in the background?
Yes.
She's waiting for the
Why is there fireworks in
Why are you
September?
wearing a bulletproof vest? Yeah. So no, I get great feedback because I do try to make it fun. So
JC, cue the this is for the rasa.
That's a 44-minute mark.
That's hilarious.
So, okay, let's switch some gears.
Go for
You guys, I would imagine, have already created your 2025 business plan. JJ, I know you've created all the way to 2030. Love it.
35.
35.
Yeah.
I got the text.
I got I got it
the
too.
text,
See?
yeah.
I got it too.
All my real ones.
You pissed off Ronnie, by the way.
I know,
He
my
was
bad,
all
Ronnie.
butthurt.
Yeah, there was a lot of people to go through.
Mind you, what is your process? And I'm going to talk to you each about this because I think not everyone does it the same way. We've all got the processes that we go through. Myself, I am nerded out, brain dump onto a not Excel, what do they call it? A whiteboard
Sure.
now that they have. And then I bring it all together into a simple business plan.
Right.
And that's the thing that I look at every day. But for each person, each individual, you guys have different goals. You've got different motives. You've got different perspectives. And I want to know how you've been able to have consistent growth year after year by having your business plan, your stuff together, so to speak. You want to start?
Yeah, I live by my calendar. If it's not on my calendar, it doesn't exist.
Okay. And that's one aspect of it.
She'll ignore your ass for 7 straight weeks. I promise you. It's happened.
Yeah, no, I seriously, if anything important to me, I put it in my calendar. And then you have to do the one thing. I mean, I was in one of his classes.
Same. Matter of fact,
Yeah.
that's the first time I saw JJ years ago. And I was like, who is this guy? Wow. I've read this book, but not like that.
Yeah, no, and I've had conversations with him where it's like, I got to go to closing. He's like, have you done your lead gen? Well, I'm going to after the closing. Do your lead gen or you're not going to have any more.
Boom.
Gotcha.
Strong.
So you have to do everything. And I have to chunk it up. I have ADD.
Yes. Same here.
I want to
So-
talk about that.
I'm on
Yeah.
Adderall
Because
right now.
everyone that talks shit, everyone that talks, everyone that says they have ADHD or ADD, I'm like, so does Lulu, and she kills you.
Yes.
Yeah,
So does
no, I
Lulu
have
when
to.
she kills
so
you.
I have to do. I do thrive off my routine. I have to do stuff, and one of my favorite books is and I went blank naturally.
Rich Dad,
The
Poor
one-
Dad.
No, the Habit.
Atomic Habits?
Atomic Habits.
right here.
Atomic
It's right
Habits.
there.
Freaking love Atomic Habits.
Yeah.
And so
Sensational.
you habit stack. And so I have walking pads at the office and I have walking pads at the home office. That's how I get my steps in. I join challenges. I have to do stuff that makes me accountable to someone else. Have to, because I will let myself down every day and I don't mind doing that. But I will not make an ass out of myself and let someone else down. So I have to put my stuff out there so that people will hold me accountable. And they don't even literally have to, because my conscience as a woman and as an individual, my pride, my ego, I will not let myself let them down. So
Now,
I get the stuff
that
done I
being
need
said,
to.
Does your ego ever get in the way of what you're talking about here?
No, because for
She's
me,
competitive, dude.
yeah, no, I really, seriously.
I don't want to go up against her.
But it goes back to, I want to do right by the person, no matter what it is.
Right.
And if that means that I'm not going to get the sale or it's not in their best interest, because I am in it for the long game, I want them to, whether they never buy another house or have anything to do with real estate, I want them to send everyone that they know to me.
Now, what in particular, or was it something in particular, because that is an echoed concept, logic, trait that everybody that's been in this studio has talked about, which is I want to do the best for my client. I want to do the best for them, whether that is me making money now, later, in the future, etc. But I'm going to give them the real shit. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I'm going to set expectations. I'm going to be true to them, but I'm not looking for that next buck. Was there something that was developed in that, or it was day one, you know what, I'm going to set out to do this and this is how I'm going to do it? Or was it something that was acquired after having something happen that bit you in the butt?
No, not really. For me, it's just kind of been a way of life. I mean, I feel like you have to, whatever you do, I believe in karma, good and bad. And so whatever you put out in the world is going to come back to you.
Sure.
Yeah.
And so I just want good stuff to come back to me. And so the more stuff that I put out there that's good, it's going to come back. And San Antonio is the biggest little town you'll ever be
Absolutely.
in.
Yeah, 1000%.
Everyone knows everyone, and everyone talks about everyone. And just like the realtors, when I teach negotiation classes, I always make it a point to tell the newbies, like, we're working with them. We all have the same goal.
That's right.
You're not going to score brownie points or do right by anyone by exerting what you think is your perspective only.
Right.
And I could use choice words, but I'm not. But my point being, people win if the house gets transferred. That's
Correct.
the only thing. What can we do to make that happen? They want to sell, my people want to buy, whatever the situation. So you have to do the right thing, and hopefully you'll be working with that agent again.
That's right.
And the ones that don't do that don't last very long.
Right.
Well, giving the folks another side of the token, another perspective, I myself, same thing, do the best for the client, whether that's money now, later, what have you. But for me, it took one time, and it did not feel good. Telling someone they were qualified, getting a couple of days before closing, and couldn't happen. And I never wanted to feel that again for myself, for them, for everybody involved. This was 2012. And I swore to myself, I'm going to be honest. If you don't qualify now, I'll be the guy that tells you, but I'll also tell you what you can do to qualify. I'm not going to hold you accountable to it because it's not my house that you're buying. By all means, there's other people that I got to do the same with. But that feeling right there, I never want to feel that again. And if that's what it takes, by all means, learn from your mistakes. I mean, there are landmines all throughout this industry. You step on one and you blow your leg off. Hey, you still got one more, but remember.
But you're always going to look down and see the missing one.
I like that. Yes. Yeah. Go ahead. Continue.
No, for sure. So it's just one of those things where you've got to do the stuff that moves the needle. You've got to do right by the client. You have to focus on those relationships because they're going to pay you back regardless. I have a realtor in town who had challenging clients. She reached out to me because we knew each other, and she's like, can I refer them to you?
In town. Wild.
And
That's gangster.
I'm taking care of them. And actually, not only am I selling their house, they're also buying, and I'm giving her, referral fees off that. And I called her up and I told her I wouldn't have had those clients if it wasn't for her. But the thing is, I have enough integrity where, which you have found out, maybe not, because it was a challenging relationship, so they'll probably never talk to each other. And could I have gotten away with it? Sure. I don't want to live that way.
Yeah.
I want to sleep at night, and I want to know that her trust in me was well placed. And so that's my whole thing is I want people to trust me. I want to do the very best that I can. I mean, am I perfect? No. But have I had to apologize? Sure.
Yeah.
Do I get busy? And, some clients require a lot more hand-holding than others.
Or dragging.
Or, yeah, literally. And I don't always have the bandwidth to do that. And I apologize, and I do better, and we work through it. But I mean, it's a relationship in every sense of the word.
And you said it earlier. You're human.
Yeah.
That's true.
Superhuman, but human, yeah.
Because I compartmentalize and I have no feelings.
So one last question before we move on to JJ, unless Robert, you want to kick it in because he'll take the whole damn rest of the time.
Rob, you go next.
I'll go,
So one last question is, when you're goal planning, it's actually a two-parter. Do you do annual or do you do it extended like JJ? And the second part is, do you write them down somewhere other than the calendar?
Yes. Okay. So we do vision boards, and I incorporated bingo cards.
Okay.
I like the bingo cards because, again, I have ADD, and it's another aspect. My whole thing in life is how can I improve? How can I push the boundaries? Everything is a muscle. I'm actually super introverted.
Same.
So it took me weeks when I hired a full-time admin in person. It took me weeks to adjust.
Yeah.
And emotionally be able to handle it and, go on in stride.
But you ask others out there and they're like, oh, super extrovert, butterfly.
Oh, I would.
No.
Yeah,
we
exactly.
play the part, but damn it, get me out of this room now.
And it's draining. Yeah, no.
Absolutely.
So every year and every time I do anything, I try to push the envelope just a little bit. So I do that. I don't ever plan past a year simply because of my ADD, because I do compartmentalize.
What's a bingo card, though?
The bingo card is like, for example, certain trips, certain
Hermano?
vehicles.
Okay.
Yeah, no, it's not El Valentín.
Borracho.
La Serena. No.
Real bingo. Okay.
Real bingo.
So you have to
But-
line them up?
Yeah, you do it on Canva.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you can put like trips, certain cars, all that kind of stuff, whatever.
make a
It's
line.
your vision board,
Okay.
but in a bingo card form. So it adds just another little
See, I
exciting
think
layer.
that's what
That's cool.
one of the, I don't know, things that is highly overlooked in us ADD folks is we make everything fun and interesting.
you have to.
You have to.
to.
Have to. Yeah. Okay.
And
go
it
ahead.
comes back to me competing too. Like, how else can I challenge myself?
I like that.
It keeps me interested. I've got to have a carrot dangling in front of me. If I don't, whether it's an award, whether it's competition, whatever it is, if I don't have it, I lose interest really easily.
Absolutely.
So and words of affirmation and all that. So that's like right up my alley.
Love it.
So if I can actually get one more thing done and challenge myself and make myself just a little bit more uncomfortable, I'm going to do it. And so I do those things, but I can't ever plan past a year because that freaks. I don't ever think in those terms. I should, but I don't.
I don't think there's anything wrong with
Me
it.
neither.
I mean, personally, I can't either. First, ADD, I don't know what it is. I have a vision of what I want the future to look like. Each year, I get closer and closer to that
I see
vision.
beaches, tropical drinks. I see
I
that.
see trees of
but,
green,
yeah.
red roses too.
Yeah.
So, Robert, how about you, brother?
Yeah.
Being in the financial world, you guys are heavily into more of a quarterly checkup with your customers and whatnot, I would imagine.
Yes.
Weekly.
So I know, depending on who they are, but I had a fantastic mentor. So
Okay.
shout out to Jason. I had a fantastic mentor when I first came in. That's one thing I'm very blessed to say. And he always said, it's perfectly fine to have an unrealistic goal, but you have to pay attention and follow the realistic plan it takes to get there. He would always hound on that, right?
Okay.
Don't say I'm going to make $500,000 this year if you've never even made 50. Does that mean you're not going to make $500,000? No, but learn how to make 50 first and then go to 100 and et cetera, et cetera. So I mean, are y'all familiar with the 12 week a year?
Yeah.
The book? Yeah. So that's my, like you said, quarterly. I do have the year, right? But it's more, my year is more missions.
Sure.
And the details are in the quarter, right?
Okay.
So like I accomplished everything I wanted to do in 2024 and get married on top of that. So to me,
Congratulations.
thank you. So like 2024 is one of those years that like I know is going to go down in the books, but I have to do better than that.
Yeah.
So for me, I really look at what I have. So I actually have two different types of plans. I have my business plan, which is the numbers. How much do I need to make? How much assets do I got to bring over? What certain clients I'm gonna try to talk to? What type of net worth I'm gonna try to attack? And then I have a marketing plan, which is how am I gonna do it?
Sure.
Right. So to me, I look at those two, but I also look at what have I done this year that complemented my plan from 2023, right? Because obviously I'm getting better and better and better. So I really pay attention to what do I want to do in the month, the quarter, the 6 month, and then in the year.
Okay.
And to me, like Lulu said, I compartmentalize everything.
Yeah.
Because I know I'm self-diagnosed, like attention disorder, but I know when I'm like, okay, I need to do this today, then I'm going to accomplish that. But when I look at the year, I do have a plan for the year, and I have a 5-year plan. That's the most I go out. I do have a 5-year plan, but to me, it's really hard to look at it because then I get anxious.
Is that more like within 5 years, I want to tackle this whale type concept?
It's not so much a whale. It's where do I want to be? Because to me, it's not so much about, oh, I want to get this huge client and that's the end of that. It's like, no, that's why I called my advisory Presidio Wealth, because it's a mission. I want this business to be all about trust, loyalty, integrity. And like, I want to build this into a huge advisory firm that I can look back and be like, man, I remember the little steps it took to get here. To me, the money and all that is cool. Don't get me wrong. But I'm not I'm not a car guy.
Sure.
I don't have like the vision board of like a car. I don't have a vision board of a home.
Honestly,
I don't have a
that's
vision
okay.
board. I have a vision board of a
I used to.
conglomerate that I'm building.
Yeah.
But I have to pay attention to the days. So like in Spanish, vista larga, pasos cortos, like long vision but small steps. That's just how I am. But yeah, I do. I really mark down. I work backwards, and that's how we do it in the finance game. Is hey, this is how much I got to make, this is how much assets I got to bring, this is how much I got to do in this is how much I got to do in that, boom, 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 and then I break it down to the day. Right. And to me, it's my mentor always used to say, if you look at it over the year, you're going to get anxious and overstimulated.
Sure.
But if you look at it in the day, it's like, oh, I can do that in 24 hours. And then you do it the next day. Oh, I can do that in 24 hours.
I mean, and
then,
as you increase the complexity of it, it could be as little as every 5-minute increments. Like
oh
an
yeah,
Elon Musk.
1,000%.
So,
Yeah,
I
to
mean,
me,
there is no extreme.
I have a to-do list from 2:30 to 4 today, and it's just a list of things that I need to knock out in an hour and a half. Like that's on my calendar today. But it's pretty simply put. I have unrealistic goals, but I know I have to follow the realistic plan. Right? It's like to lose weight, you got to do it a pound a day.
Yeah.
Right. And that's how I look at it. But also, one of my favorite books is The Slight Edge, and The Slight Edge is just about you do just this literally a day.
One win.
Right? Just one win or 1% a day. Like, and to me, that's all I care about. Like if I learn something a day or talk to a new person or, JJ refer to me someone or something, like just those little wins, I'm able to look back 365 days and I'm like, man, a lot happened.
And I'm glad you said that, because I think in today's generation, the little wins adding up to the full year of this big accomplishment is dissipating and disappearing because of this TikTok age where instant gratification is trumping the idea that I ran a little bit further today. Yeah. But you didn't finish.
No, showed up to the gym is a win, dude.
Right?
Just showing up.
So those things are being overlooked, and I can imagine the same thing is happening with realtors, lenders,
everyone,
business owners, etc.
One advice I got is you got to figure out your definition of success.
Perfect.
There is no definition. Like my definition of success is satisfaction within myself. And when I accomplish little goals like that I love that feeling. I love that feeling of like my next goal is my CFP. And that's like I'm going to finish 2025 with like the highest designation you can have. Like that already is set in stone. But to me, I don't care if anybody knows it or not. It's me, like I did that, or I closed this deal, or I got this financial plan in place and we set up this entire plan. Like to me, I don't care who knows. Maybe it's just I'm just very confident in who I am. But to me, the satisfaction of putting something on paper and like looking back and saying I wanted to make this much, and then I add the numbers and I'm $1,000 more than that. I'm like, dang, I'm gonna go grab a drink. And I'll go by myself. That's fine. But I love that feeling of just looking at it.
That's alcoholism.
That's his daily.
Yeah, I know, right?
Another 500 check.
That's his own definition of success.
Yes.
Yeah. No, and it's. I mean, it can be anything. Like even me and my wife will go get tacos. We're a big taco truck couple, right? But little things like that, like just sitting down and talking to Jackie, who's my wife, and just being like, dang, like. I did it. It got signed today. We knocked it out. Like that feeling to me is just, it's silencing that little kid from Presidio who had all these doubts, right? But I don't care. I don't have to post it. I don't have to do anything. Sometimes I don't even tell my dad anymore. It's just for me to sit down in like my office, stare out the window and be like, hey, they got done. Let's move on to the next thing.
So you having said that, there's one piece of this equation that many would agree with. I want to know your thoughts on it. The idea behind goals and writing them down and having them visible. Then there's another piece that's accountability, sharing it with others.
So the numbers are, if you write it down and you look at it periodically, it's 36.6% chance that it'll accomplish. But if you have someone hold you accountable, it's like 76.6%.
I think that's what I'm getting to.
I think, and to put it even in more intense, you got to tell somebody you do not want to let down. Okay, it's got to be to me, it's my dad, it's my wife, it's one of my buddies from the office who, like my buddy David Nader, who's like a brother to me. He is my friend that bulletproofs everything. And I love him for it because he's one of those friends where he's not going to BS you. He's going to tell you the truth. And that's my accountability. Like, hey, I have to do this month. He goes, all right, let's go knock it out. And then I'll call him, let's say January 1st. He's like, so Robert, what's new? What happened? And I do the same with him.
Sure.
But to me, I think it has to be more people. Like, I think if you tell, your boss or whoever's in charge of your office or whatever, that's cool. But it has to be somebody you have to come home. Right. And I got that because a mentor of mine said he did that to his kids, where basically he said, hey, let's just say it's January, right? He goes, "Hey, in June we're going to Disneyland or Disney World." I have no idea how we're gonna
No,
get there.
but yeah, that's strong,
right? But
there.
that you just promised this 6-year-old that they're
You
going
let
to
them
Disney
down.
World, and it is up to you to get them there in June.
Yeah.
Right. So like that type of accountability to me is like pressure's a privilege.
I
Right. So
I
that
agree.
type of massive pressure, like when I had my wedding, we got married. I had a destination in Cabo. Like I had a deadline. I had to make sure it was taken care of. Right. So like my wife, she owns a boutique. Like I got to make sure that's taken care of and she's okay. She has accountability to me too.
Sure.
Right. So it's like it's vice versa. I think writing it down is crucial because it's a contract to yourself. Right. And you have to look at it, and you're the person you're going to talk to the most in your life. So that's a contract to you that you can't break. Second, it's a contract to somebody you love. That's tough. Right. So,
I mean, it should hurt if you let them down.
I think it's kind of like what you said, stepping on a landmine, right? Like, I think you got to have that, like the feelings is what you remember. Right. So I remember letting, my dad down. I remember telling my wife I was going to, achieve a certain thing and it didn't happen. And even though she loves me and she's like, babe, it's okay to me. I'm like, damn, but the contract to myself and us didn't get fulfilled.
Sure.
And like, as a man and a man that was raised by my dad, that's tough to look at. So to me, yeah, you have to write it down. I mean, during the times of my planning for next year, which I'm actually about to start, my windows all over my office are written all over.
I love
just because
that,
I have to see it. Like it looks like a lab, just all the equations and everything I have in there, what I have to do. But yeah,
Same concept with me, but the board.
Yeah,
whiteboard.
just the craziness of it all. And to me, I love it because you're breaking down the complexity of your type of success.
Yeah, in a way that you can understand.
Yeah,
it.
that's realistic, right? Like to me, I get it. Everybody has big dreams, but the reason you don't fulfill it is because you don't know what you have to realistically do to get there.
Well, I also think that you set these big goals year after year and you don't hit them, and it's okay.
It's okay.
Does that
but
make
you're
sense?
a lot further than where you started.
I'm kind of talking about it in a different aspect here. Is these folks that go, I'm going to go from 100 to 500,000 this
Right.
year, and you didn't hit it. Oh, that's okay.
Yeah.
So next year they're going to do it again, 500,000. They didn't hit it. That's okay. Is it okay if
Yeah.
you
But
set your goal that high
That's
with
psychology,
unrealistic?
That's psychology.
That's
Yeah, that's
their financial
psychology.
thermostat. They have inner work
No.
they need to do. Another huge motivator is having to make payroll.
Okay,
I
I
take
like that.
it
Yeah,
very seriously.
That's my next thing. Having an
Yeah.
assistant, that's terrifying.
Yeah,
That's right. It's not
Having
just
People
you.
depending
two
on you.
people
Yeah.
That is
depend on me
yeah.
for their livelihood, their homes, their vehicles, their food, their
right.
families, everything. That's a huge motivator. That gets my ass out of bed
Yeah.
every single day.
Exactly. Yeah. Like that person eating is
Yeah.
depending on you.
That's right. That's right.
That's
You
motivating.
can't take a day off.
But
That's
I'm,
right.
I'm different than Rob because I throw it out there, and I throw it out there because my peers are now looking at me, and now I know when they're looking at me, I know I can't fail, right? So I do tell everyone, but I have to be held accountable. I've had a coach.
All eyes on me.
All eyes on me. So I have to have a coach that holds me accountable every single week, and those are tough conversations, and I'm good with that. But back to Lulu having ADD, like this is crazy because first of all, ADD, everyone thinks all of us have it or self-diagnosed, whatever. It's
I
from
went and saw a psychologist. all
Did-
that
yeah,
shit.
me too.
Yeah, I needed the medication.
so like
I'm not medicated, but I am self-diagnosed.
no, you definitely are. But
And before it was the medication, it was pot. I'll be honest.
yeah,
It helped me.
I bet. Yeah.
No.
But Lulu being such a badass and having that is what I tell all of my coaching clients because I think a lot of, by the way, real estate attracts that personality profile
Correct.
too.
Yep.
And so, but think about how we evolved. Like we weren't cavemen, like just like meditating in a cave and doing like 10 hieroglyphics a day and then, doing yoga. Like we were running away from like tigers and bears and stuff. So like because of that, we want like our attention to be focused on something quick. The shiny objects are the smaller the shiny object, the shinier they are because how does Lulu like not stay super focused on these goals is because she like looks over these little shiny objects all the time because your brain wants to win. Just like we're talking about wins. In order for me to call this dude that has a warehouse on 410 that needs to have a BPO that's going to take me 5 hours to maybe sell it by April, right? Or I can just get on Instagram and see whatever meme, someone sent me. That's immediate gratification.
Correct.
And the fact that she's able to run over that and be like, nah, like I'm gonna say no to so many things to be laser focused to these crazy goals and killing all these teams that are way smaller than her is a testament that crutch that some people look at is not a crutch. She's just learned how to deal with it in a really like organic and persistent way.
I've got an episode with Ken Perry, and I don't know if you've ever heard of Ken Perry, but he owns the Knowledge Coop. Incredible gentleman. He also has ADD, ADHD. The episode is called ADD or ADHD. It's Our Superpower. Incredible discussion. You should take a listen.
Yeah.
No, I definitely will, because when you talked about overstimulation, that's
right.
literally me in a nutshell.
Yeah, it's
I get so easily
terrible.
overstimulated.
Right. And then you get paralysis by analysis. You end up not doing anything.
And then you're a perfectionist on top
then
of
you're a
it. And so then
perfectionist
you
on
feel
top
if you
of it.
can't do it perfectly, you're going to put it off,
Yeah.
which it's a cycle. It feeds
exactly
into itself.
correct.
Yeah.
No, you're good. So why I've always done 5 years, this is the first year I've done 10, is because for whatever reason that helps me more about the be, do, have part about all this that we haven't really touched on, is that in order for us to be that person, we have to go do it and have it. Our brains talk the other way. But when you start asking yourself questions, this is from my coach, is where will you be in 2030? So are you living in San Antonio? Are you living somewhere else? Or what will you be doing? What is your daily activities, right? Because they have, like Lulu, your activities changed from 5 years ago, right? And it changed from 5 years before that. So here's the problem that I have with real estate agents in general, is that if we worked for USAA, we would have to kiss some girl or dude's ass to make them like us and perform so that they could hopefully like see us and then recognize us in us to go jump the corporate ladder
And get that into your bonus.
or whatever. We own our own business and we can have whatever job description and role that we want. But yet I still see people that have been in the game for 12 years doing the same thing year in, year out. And then they wonder why they burn out.
Yeah.
Just create your own job. You own the company, create your own, replace yourself and create your own job.
That's right.
And people don't do that.
Well, I took a workshop where they say different isn't always better, but better is always different. Right. And so and like JJ said, you see people doing the exact same thing. Wondering why they've made, they kept up with inflation.
Yeah.
That's the only pay
Barely.
raise they've given themselves.
Right.
But because you have to do something different. You just have to. You have to look. And Lulu, you said something earlier that I love, that I try to preach when I mentor somebody, is you have to have a master's degree in yourself, right? So you look at yourself, you're like, can I be a better this? Can I be a better that? Can I be better at this? I need to calm down on that. Like, I think you have to do that.
Well, and that's a part of the EQ in developing yourself,
Definitely.
being honest with yourself, being able to empathize with yourself
Right.
in many cases.
And finding out what kind of motivators you are. Like, not all of us are money motivated. Like,
right.
I'm not. I thought I was. Bobby is, thank God, because I get to hitch my hook on him. But if it wasn't for Bobby, I'd be one of those, he doesn't do a lot, but he doesn't not do a lot. So knowing that about yourself is super important.
But your own definition of success.
Totally.
Your own definition.
Totally.
You
And it
have to
changes,
have your own
and
definition of
it's
success.
allowed to mold and change. But looking at 5 years, like, who will you be with? How are your relationships? Who are those relationships with? This is the one that blew my mind. Is like, what will you care about then that you don't care about now?
Yeah.
That's the one that was like, what would I care about in 5 years that I don't care about now? And also, like, who will you be hanging out with that you're not hanging out with now? Right.
That's right.
Like, if I was able to pick, this is what I really feel, is that this is our story. These eyes are projectors. We can have a really, really tough, like journey.
Yeah.
We can have a really, really fun journey, but we decide that. We really do.
Absolutely.
Because
and your actions kind of.
No, because perspective is reality. Information is neutral.
Yeah.
We give it positive or negative energy. So if we give it positive energy, then that information becomes a thought. Again, positive or negative,
right.
which creates an action. Again, positive or negative, right? Which creates a result, again, which is positive or negative, which is new information.
Because it has no meaning until the one that
We
you
give it power.
meaning.
We give it power, and it's neutral or negative. And until you can look far enough in the future to be like, well, the character that I projected 5 years from now is not going to go down that hard road.
Right.
And
sometimes it is because you've gone down that road before and learned from it.
Maybe. But we all know the people that like just fall ass backwards into opportunities, and you're like, dude, how did that happen? It's because that's perception and reality. So what I do is I look at 5-10 years from now, and I know who that person is and the ending of that road until then. And then I break it all the way down to like, okay, all right, if I was going to build a house, then in, let's say, 5 years, then by 3 years from now, I would have to have, this is just BS, but like framing and foundation. And so in 2 years, I would have to have foundation. And then this year I should be leveling out the ground. And then I just work on habits, because I think we're 3 to 5 habits away from anyone that we need to be to. And then inside of us, all the potential that's ever happened, all of our ancestors that came before us is inside of us. So we are the conquerors.
Yeah.
And
but we're also the victims.
Yeah.
And PBD said it the other day on a podcast or whatever it was, but he said you're one relationship away from changing your life completely.
Your life completely.
My buddy always says, "Who can I call that's going to change my life?"
Yeah,
Grant
it's
Cardone,
true.
who can I call?
It's true.
But
Yeah.
it is like, I find it fascinating when you talk to someone who's like quote unquote successful, has the money and the accolades and all that. And you really talk to them like, there's no
nothing
secret
special.
sauce.
There's
You
nothing
just have
special.
sauce. Like there's no secret
There's one.
sauce.
They're one habit away from
They're
you. You're
one habit away.
from you.
And
That's
it's,
right.
And it's the moving the needle, like what Lulu said. Just the little things she's doing over time creates this giant, money monster that you build. But
And I think the one thing that those people that you happen to come across, and many of them you go, wow, you're incredible. You know every damn thing. Then you'll meet some people that are very successful according to your definition of success. And you go, God, he's a dumbass. How did he do this?
Exactly my point.
But the thing that they both have in common, regardless, is consistency.
Tenacity and consistency.
That's
Consistency
right.
is
They've got a
huge.
passion, they've got a purpose, and they go at it every day, constantly, religiously, until they can measure their results to change whatever it is that they're doing to continue that needle moving forward.
I always compare it to the gym.
Okay.
You will not
The
see
instant results,
not see results instantly, but you have to keep going. In
I
order to see
kind of do.
results.
It's my black jeans. I get in the gym. I'm like,
Stupid.
it's muscle memory, by the way. But question for you guys: how often are you tracking? Like for you, JJ, you're going on a 5-year plan. The idea of tracking something like that
Every
just
day.
seems super overwhelming.
It's
to me.
every day, because if you go backwards, then you know what one habit is going to get you a little bit quicker. So that's 66 days. So I attempt to create so many new habits. I even know the habits of me creating habits. Let me tell you how it goes. I go like 20 to 22 days, and I'm like I'm flossing right every day, and I'm like. I get cocky. I go, bro, I'm a flosser now. I don't know about you all, but I'm fucking flossing. And then I beluciate, right? Usually it blows up around then, and I need encouragement. I need people that are around me to be like, yo, you always do this. You always get too cocky, fool. And then I usually implode there. If I can get past there, then around 35, I get another like big speed bump. And then I get another one right at the end when it's like, dude, I'm at like 59 days, dude. Like one more week, it's really tough for whatever reason. So I create so many habits that I know my habits of creating habits. So number one, I look at it every single day because I'm creating a habit usually no matter what, except for
beginning of the day, end of day.
depending on the habit is. Like,
Okay.
if the habit is waking up, 15 minutes earlier, then that's what I'm tracking. The second thing that I do is a lot like Lulu is I play with my mind and I make it a game where, I have like a little bit of caffeine. I can't have more caffeine until I talk to 20 people in my database. Actually 15, and then I can have another one. So it's like,
You have to have a carrot.
yeah, that carrot is like, so I'm like hourly carrots. And then, I can't do anything. Do not pass go. Do not collect $200 until I do this. So I'm contemplating like mind games with myself. The difference between maybe what I do and other people do is because I'm looking so far in the future that I also know that what is that person, what does that JJ of 2030 or 2035, what does that JJ have to know in order to become that JJ? So I'm also looking, if in the afternoon, if I'm not earning, meaning showing properties or whatever, then I'm learning. So I'm either earning or learning in the afternoons because I know that JJ that's going to be that JJ in 2030 or 2035, he's going to have all this another, abundant knowledge that has to come. And so I have to fill in those gaps because again, that's the movie that I've already written and I'm now directing.
I like that. Now, is it because the idea of tracking these little movements, because if you take that bird's eye view, you go, God damn, that's a lot of tracking. But at the same time, zooming back in, you go, this is nothing compared to the larger picture that I'm trying to get to. So this is a simple task that I'm doing.
But the be do have of it is the most important. So if I'm going to be that person, then I know that this is already happening. I don't know if that makes sense.
It does, yeah.
But also, I give myself 3 wins a day.
Okay.
And
Did you get that from Win by Noon concept? Or
it's just coaching, dude. When you get down on yourself, because we are going to all we're gonna either win or we're gonna learn, right? So when we don't accomplish something, you have to look at your day and say, like, there's 3 wins, you know, and they're as simple as, you know, getting to the gym or waking up on time or whatever. So I make sure I recognize that, and I also have a text group of a lot of people from all over the U.S. that we do the 5 things that we're grateful for today, and looking at that gratitude in different areas. Like I remember this one guy, his wife was sick, and he was like, "Well, Jenny was hungry today," and I was like, "Oh my God, dude!" Like thinking about our perspective.
Absolutely.
I was like, nothing is wrong with my life right now.
That's right.
Yeah,
and that it took me to visit South Africa for it to hit me hard.
I bet.
It was like, I've got nothing to complain about ever. Helping kids rebuild a school.
Yeah.
And I'm looking at the dude next to me and I'm decked out in all this fancy workout stuff.
Yeah.
And the kid's wearing his church shoes.
Yep.
And I'm like, hey, why are you getting those dirty? He's like, these are the only shoes I have.
Wow.
It was just like, Mark, shut the fuck up
Yeah, for
about
real.
anything
That's ever you thought was
That's
wrong.
right.
Yeah.
But I think you need that though. Like sometimes you need that.
Yeah.
Every day I need that. I need gratitude every day.
Well, my reminder right here. I mean,
Yeah.
it's just that thing of however bad you feel like you have it.
You can write it down. You don't have to write it down on your body, by the way.
I mean, I'm one of those. Matter of fact, I got your name on my ass.
But I get you.
That reminds
I
someone
might
else.
need to cut that out.
That reminds someone else.
I have the date my grandma passed on my back.
Do you?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I look at it every day. I'm like, that's why I started.
That's right.
That's why I started. So
That's impressive, by the way.
Really? Oh, well, the little wins I have is like, I know, right?
You just got it.
I know, I just got it. So I put it. The goal was I put it right behind my heart.
Yeah.
Right. So I always say like, grandma's got my back type thing.
Oh, man.
But
Yeah.
but going back to the little wins, like it's a simple. I have a little win of I got to read 15 pages a day.
Okay.
It's that little. It takes me maybe 15 minutes, 30 minutes. But like if you go to my office, and that's why I keep looking at your books because
Oh, I've got a slew of them.
I'm the exact same way in my office. I've read every single one. There.
And I will tell you, I suck at reading.
I suck at listening to books. I
have to reread them.
I am driving people audiobook and I'm 5 minutes in and squirrel and done.
That's right.
I've completely forgot what that chapter was about. But so little things like that, people go into my office and be like, hey, you actually read this? I was like, yes. But you don't think about it till you look back.
That's
I'm like,
right.
yeah, I did. I read.
Or until you're actually implementing it in your
Correct.
life and somebody says, hey, how did you get to doing that? Well, I started adopting it from what I read, picked up along the
During
way.
COVID, actually, it was like little things like that. Like even during COVID, I'm like, man, there's nothing really to do. Well, let me get that book. I'll finish those 400 pages eventually.
Instead, I decided to start a podcast. Now, for you guys, one more question, and then I want to ask something that I think we're going to get different answers on. This leading before the final systems. Me being ADD, ADHD, I've got to have systems in place, and I will tell you, 2024 was a shit show for me. I had Review My Mortgage, LoanBot, I Think Mortgage, the podcast. It was just like creating so many things that it was, okay, now we're here. Now put your plan in place for all these things that you created. Make sure to automate them. Make sure to delegate the things that need to be delegated, et cetera, et cetera. What is you all's process on systems? I can imagine that you have systems in place for this. If not, you're Rainmaker. But what Lulu, what are your systems that you utilize other than your calendar, of course?
Yeah, no, I try to automate it, everything that I possibly can. Even tracking the numbers, I track them. You had mentioned earlier, I track them daily.
Okay.
I'm constantly revisiting them. And what can I tweak? I actually, for whatever reason, I thrive off of problems because it captures my ADD brain.
Intriguing, yes.
And it also allows me to be the hero and solve the problem. So if anytime anyone comes to me with a problem, I immediately, whether it's in real life, which is actually, that bites me. But because no one can tell me something without me trying to solve it. Like
Same.
I'm not
It's a
an
gift and a
active-
curse.
It really is. It's a curse because sometimes they just want to vent and you're trying to solve them.
Wow.
Yeah. And I think
Nicole
that's
Kelly, shout out. Sometimes you just want to vent. Sometimes you just want to vent. But the idea is, let us know that you just want to vent first.
You have to make that distinction. Yeah, it's like, I just want you to hear me. But I approach it much like a dude, I guess, in that sense, because I immediately want to just solve it, because that's my whole thing is, what can I do? What can I implement so that this doesn't happen again? Whether it's on the admin side, showing agents side, no matter what it is, or with a client, what can we do? This is where we're at. How do we prevent this from happening?
Yes.
So I'm constantly tweaking systems. And that's what my day is. Same. Lead gen, looking at my numbers. How can we tweak the systems to prevent stuff?
Yes.
Because I want to learn from my mistakes, and I don't ever want to experience the same thing twice.
Well, the idea is that number one, that is the overall goal of anyone trying to do business is, I think you'll do all right if you're trying new things, being consistent, but also not making the same mistakes over and over. I mean, you're
because then it's not a mistake; it's a choice.
That's right. I have to agree with that. You chose to do that again, even though you knew that it was going to cut your hand off.
The higher achievers are like that I've coached or mentored are like Lulu. You know, I know how coachable someone is when I tell them like, well, when are you going to solve that problem and by when? And they go, you know, by June. Like if I ask someone like Lulu, like she's like by 4 p.m. So that's what makes her badass. So what I want everyone to do, if they're listening, I want them to look at their last year, 2024, and figure out how many hours they work and then how much money they brought to the table. That's your bandwidth, right?
Yes, sir.
And then I want them to, so like we did this and, you know, it was like we bring in like $500 an hour, let's say, right? And then I want you to divide it twice, divide it by 250, and then divide it again till it goes down to 125. And then ask yourself a question, would you pay someone $125 to do that? And most of the time they're like, hell no. I was like, then why are you doing it? Mm-hmm. And so that's where processes for me start is I divide twice by the money that I bring in, that I'm able to bring in, by the way, into a company. And so I divide twice, sometimes 3 times, because even then, like 60 50, like I wouldn't pay anyone that much, right? So then why am I doing it, right? So first of all, systems should be asked, why am I doing this? And then it's I do it, we do it, you do it. Actually,
so now let me clarify. Is that the delegation piece of what you're doing and planning?
No process can be created. No one has they don't have, because creating processes are tough.
Absolutely.
You know, because now you have to go into like, you know, technology and you have to create, you know, checklists and systems that can be, you know, that you can inspect what you expect. And, you know, then you have to hire someone and train them to do it.
And the idea behind that for us top producers is put the system in place and then figure out how to break it so that we can fix it faster than what it takes to create it.
They tend to get broken regardless.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. And then it's throwing crap against the wall and then continuing. And where there's money to be made is where problems are being solved, right?
That's right.
So then you do the bandwidth thing and say like, well, and by the way, you'll always stay at that bandwidth if you keep on doing, you'll never bring more than $500 an hour if you keep on doing $125 crap. So, or 62 or 20 or $25 crap. So the urge that people should have, because I don't think a lot of people have urge to change what is consistently like stopping them. Just write down what you're doing, especially if it's frustrating. You're like, why am I working on this amendment right now where I should, and I haven't lead generated yet or whatever. And then break that down. That should give you enough passion to like say, okay, I got to work on my business, not in it. Mm-hmm. And then you can create a process by I do it, I loom it, and then you do it. Yeah. And then having someone to delegate that too. Because this is where most people get stuck is that they just go like, oh, and they're like, I'm a control freak or, I'm a perfectionist. I'm like,
we all are.
Who gives a shit?
Some learned how to delegate.
Yeah, who gives a shit?
But it's a cop out because it gives them they're able to be busy without actually being productive.
Oh yeah, the lie you tell yourself to make yourself feel better.
That's right. Mm-hmm. Procrastinate on purpose is the book
shiny
that comes
object.
to mind.
Shiny
object. Self-sabotage.
That's right.
Same back to the shiny objects. Like if I do this contract because I know I'm good at it, then I can say like, well, I did a bunch of contracts today, right? But you didn't work on the contracts that are not coming 60 days from now. So I think that people have to have that passion that ignites in them. And then it's so fulfilling too, dude, when I know like, once I teach this person to do it again and I can trust them and I give the autonomy to do it, they can do it. I never have to do it again. I never do it again. And that really drives me.
So what do you tell those? And I've gotten this many times in the coaching meetings that I have with loan officers, realtors, that say, but I can't trust that person. I can't trust
someone
to do that.
Then it goes back to the be do have. Like if I want to be like Lulu Bishop, does she have someone that does it for her?
Yes. I haven't looked at a contract and
I don't even know how to log in. I don't even know how to log into Dotloop. Like she sends it to me and then I approve it. So it goes back to the be do have. Then they have not humbled themselves to want to be like someone that does that kills it more than them or better than them. So that goes back to the be do have thing, right? So
well, more so the no one can do it as good as I do, though.
Okay, but you have to
Does that
respect
make sense?
but you have to respect your time.
Absolutely.
Money can be made and lost and everything else. Money, it can be a roller coaster, but it's coming.
Yes.
It's energy. Time you will never get back. Never. So by you wasting time, and it's a waste of your time, and it's a waste of your talent, and it's a waste of your purpose, because again, we're in the lead gen business. Right. Doing those mundane things that somebody else can do for us and should do for us. And if you don't trust that person, then you didn't make a good hire.
Yeah.
That's what I was looking for. You can't wait for the perfect person to come along.
No offense to anyone that hires their family. I don't hire my family because I can't fire my family.
That's right.
I don't hire, I can't fire. So I'm always
You're
like
preaching to the choir after this year. Yeah,
I know.
Yeah.
So I'm like your tia is the best at this. There's 8 billion people on earth, but your tia is the best. Like that's
what
crazy.
What are the odds?
I know.
Yeah,
wow.
Yeah.
What a family.
Good find.
Yeah. No, they just grabbed someone and said, I need help.
That's right.
Instead of going through the process of like, all right, who's going to be the best at this? And it goes back to your personality profile.
I was just getting ready to say, yep.
Motivating factors and are you, people tend to grab someone just like themselves. Like, I've now duplicated myself. That's the worst thing you could ever do, dude.
Yeah.
You know what I
My
mean?
showing agent is very much like me, but 20 years ago, that's scary. That's really scary.
Why? That should ignite you because she's going to move your ass out of the way.
Well, no, sometimes we look at each other and it's truly frightening. Us like,
I met her. She is like you, but she's gonna allow you to be at that point because you've already stabilized the processes and have someone doing that. Now you're just molding yourself 20 years ago, and one day she's gonna be like, "Girl, get the hell out of her way."
I hope so.
That's
yeah.
right.
Oh, I know so. If you keep on that path,
that's awesome. So I've got a couple of things here. Before I ask this kind of last question, I found this article. JC, if you can hit that reference, we're not talking about that cat right there, but the 5 reasons most real estate agents will fail in 2025. And I believe that we've pretty much covered every single one of these.
Scripts, we started with that.
We sure did. I mean, literally, the idea of lead gen being what we really do, having no plan or failing to track and measure. Covered that. Number 3, lack of coachable mindset.
I want to talk about that real quick.
Let's do it.
Because people feel that they're coachable, and I think everyone is coachable in some shape, form, or fashion. But here's where it gets messed up. Coaching, mentoring, and training all get mixed together. So we all focus on the results, right? Like I don't want to use the word hate. I dislike January and February and March because that's when everyone's getting their awards. And it's because of the results. Lulu did this much, these many transactions, not just you, but everyone. And it's like the results. But the mind goes above the results. It's the actions. What actions did we take to get those results, right? Mm-hmm. And you go as far as you can in the beginning. And then you have to have the next level, which is, your potential. Someone has to unlock your potential. So Lulu doesn't do a commercial, right? But if I taught her how to do commercial, then now I've unlocked Lulu's potential. She's talking about feasibility periods instead of option periods, and she's talking about environmental assessments instead of inspections. So now I've unlocked her potential.
That's right.
Right? And that's where it stops. So I'm not trying to talk mess because I was in it and I like the core, those are just lead key performance indicators.
That's right.
That's all they are. Mm-hmm. They're really awesome ones.
That's right.
20 great conversations a day, 2 break breads, right? So those are just KPIs. And so mentorship is used. So that's a trained KPI, mm-hmm. right? That's not coaching.
Right.
Okay. Now mentorship is different. Like if I was like the girl that you're mentoring right now that is exactly like you, but 20 years younger and white, you're going to mentor her. And so she wants to be like Lulu. So if Lulu says jump, she says how high, and Lulu says, you do it this way, you do it that way. If I've had mentors too, I want to be like you. So whatever you tell me to do, I'm going to do that. That's mentorship. Yeah. And that's a square peg and square hole. But usually it's a square peg and a round hole. And what'll happen is you're like, man, not to talk crap, but like, I don't want a 7th level with maps. I don't want to be like that. And so when you can't fit that square peg in a round hole, now you're stuck because your mentorship no longer exists. And the training you've already gotten. Coaching is the next level, which is beliefs. you have a belief system that needs to be challenged, and it has to be like totally customized to you.
That's right.
And you have to be willing and able and ready to accept it. Okay. Because we are all like castles, and we have a moat that's around us that is in our subconscious is, the conscious mind is a goal getter. The subconscious mind is subconscious mind is a goal setter. Subconscious mind is a go getter. Well, we're a castle, and there's a moat around us, and it has alligators and all this stuff. Mm-hmm. And unless you're ready to open it, and by the way, that is your subconscious and your belief systems just are water around your castle, and live if they're never challenged.
And your current beliefs based on what you've experienced without being challenged.
Yeah. And
the right way.
Like my sphere doesn't want to hear from me, so I'm not going to call them. Or open houses don't work, or we can go on and on, right? There's a core beliefs with all these other like beliefs around it, right? Like, when we were going down the chute, like on the Guadalupe, and there's that chute where your kid's drowning over here, your keys are that way, your cell phone's that way, but we're all making sure that one with the beer is upright, right?
That's right.
Because if that one goes upside down, we're done.
That's right.
That is your main belief system. And then after we get past the chute, we all start to like
hover back around.
We all attach ourselves to that belief. And so if someone's not unraveling each tube, you with me? Then you're not truly getting coaching. You're just trying to fit a square peg in a round hole, or you have a mentorship that's going to last as long as, Lulu's so big that she could, her universe is so big that other people's universes can fit in hers, but she's a rare breed. But if not, you're going to get peaked out on your mentorship, and you're going to learn what you need to learn. That's training. Coaching is one-on-one. Coaching is coachable. Coaching is someone that's holding you accountable on a weekly basis, and they're challenging your beliefs. And if you can get past that, then that's the only coachable thing. And you got to be ready for it.
Versus just going through the motions.
But it comes from within, though. Like I've never done MAPS. MAPS was never, which is the huge coaching system within KW.
Okay.
Never done it. I also see without. This isn't meant to be shady, but I've seen agents that don't produce to my level that are now MAPS coaches, which I'm thinking, why would I sign up for that?
Totally.
And, okay, what are your thoughts on this? Those who can't teach, I call bullshit.
I call bullshit too. You know what I liked about the core? You had to be top 10% of the core in order to coach.
You have to, in order to be a great coach, you have to have done. Now, unless you're talking about basketball.
I want to say, no, I think it's in the game because just like what Lulu says, in the game.
Used to be a great coach.
He's still in the game, though. You know what I mean? Like you, because like she said in the beginning of this whole podcast, it's so volatile and real estate changes so quickly that if you were a baller in 2012, like, the game's new, son.
That's right. It's not the same game.
The game's new.
But here's the thing, though. I've had coaches. I don't have a coach right now, but I create my own coaching moments.
Because it's the mentality.
Yes. It has to do with the individual. How open are you to that? How much are you willing to challenge your beliefs? And I believe that I can learn something from anybody in any industry. So anytime I read a book, anytime I have a conversation, anytime I come across someone, what can I actually learn from them to make myself better? But you have to be self-motivated.
That's right.
And you can't teach that.
No, you can't teach it, but you can adopt it, in my opinion.
You can, but it has to come from that individual.
That's correct. I agree. It's something that at a certain point, you've got to go, all right, I'm ready for this, whatever that may be at the time, but I'm ready for it.
I think if you want to level up, you need that.
Yeah,
I don't disagree with that.
Yeah, like
and the ones that do level up have that.
Yeah, that's the ones that do level. Like I feel more. I feel, how could I put it? I feel more naive now where I am than I did when I started.
Ooh, what was I listening to today? He basically said, "Isn't it strange that the more
imposter
you learn,
syndrome, bro,
the dumber you feel.
It's imposter syndrome, dude.
The better you do, the weaker you feel.
Yeah, the more vulnerable, the more vulnerable you are.
Because life is a paradox.
But I think
we all have imposter syndrome.
Yeah. Here's another one. It's your success begins when your vulnerability starts.
Yes.
And I've noticed that the more vulnerable I've become, the more I've achieved in life. But I know that same friend I was talking about, David Nader, we saw this video from one of his old mentors, and it's you have to get in trouble. And what it means and I try to find a way to get in trouble every 3 months. And what that means is, and what it means is going back to systems, right? Is I know I'm going to reach a point where I'm growing and I hit a wall and I'm like, dang, I don't know how to get out of this. I'm in trouble. So I have to think my way out of it, go look for coaches, go be vulnerable enough to level up and put a new system in play to make sure my practice has a better foundation.
So can I add something to that?
Yes.
Whatever it was that happened, had you not lost any money, would you have still learned? Because I feel and believe that if you're wanting to learn something similar to poker,
have some skin in the game.
People will ask me all the time, I'm going to learn how to play poker.
Yeah, bring
Get
it.
ready to lose a lot of money.
Bring it.
I went, so was it like 4 or 5 years ago? JJ took me to the poker house. I got
shit.
cleaned out, Mark. I got cleaned.
You got some lessons.
But I got some lessons. You have to have skin in the game. I think you
it's
have to
gotta
have skin
hurt.
in the game. Yeah, I mean, it has the like I said earlier, the feelings is what you remember. Like, yeah,
Hey,
it has
by the
to
way,
hurt.
that means coaching's not free because if you don't pay, you don't pay attention.
That's right. That's right.
And that's it.
Oddly, the same concept when you're teaching a class, more people will show up, be more attentive if you charge a little bit versus it being for free.
With the finance game, I mean, you get what you pay for.
Here,
Right,
too.
like my fee has been going up and up and up. Why? Because I've been getting better, and other people I've heard them come back and they're like, "Rob, I need your help."
I'm like,
"What's your fee?" at?"
don't listen
I was
to
going to
this.
say,
Nar,
NAR's
don't
about to
listen
come
to
for
this.
your ass, man.
Well, because so it's just what it is you get what you pay for.
Totally.
You get what you pay for. And like the guy that you're hiring or the person like Lulu, for example, I know for a fact she's going to knock it out the park. She's worth every single penny, but she's
Right.
been through it to get there.
Right.
Right. And you don't just wake up and become Lulu.
That's why
You
it's
gotta
so
go
weird that
through
someone's
it.
like, I use my nephew. He just got his license. I was like, this is the biggest asset you've ever had. That's crazy.
That's
I
wild to me.
wouldn't trust my nephew to drive my car.
That's awesome.
And like in the finance game, you want an advisor who's been through it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Right? Like
Absolutely.
I got through, I always say COVID gave me 4 years of
Yeah.
experience in one. Like you want an advisor who knows the feelings and the emotions and the cyclical nature of everything you're going through. They're going to be expensive.
Absolutely. And I
Just like a lawyer.
That's
like
it's
a lawyer.
tough that we're saying all of this, and there are plenty of newer to the business realtors, loan officers that are listening to this that aren't homeowners, that have not flipped properties, haven't had investment properties, haven't. I mean, I can go down the list of the experiences we have in this room. That doesn't mean that you're less of a person or anything like that. But
Grab
you
a
need to
mentor.
start. You
Grab a
need,
coach.
That's where I was getting with that.
Grab a mentor, grab a
start
coach.
failing, start trying new things, get a little bit more uncomfortable each day to the
Every
point
day.
that you do try.
I mean, the trainings that I do, like the one that shift happens, I tell you, I'm going to advance your career 5 years in an hour and a half.
And not
Strong.
just real
Yeah.
estate. JJ's actually mentored me.
Yeah.
And some things I've learned from him, I've implemented in my practice. And I get asked, well, what advisor did you get that from? I was like, it was actually a real estate
mentor.
agent.
Yeah.
Like it was actually my buddy JJ. And I've always said I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for JJ. That's awesome. I've told him to his face. I've always said like I will not. That 23-year-old kid that he believed in, I don't know why he believed in him, and I'm so thankful that he did.
West Texas.
But it's probably a West Texas thing. But
How old are you? You young cat, huh?
I'm 30. I'm turning
Okay,
31
I love
in
it.
January. Yeah, I started at 22.
Don't ask
just,
us,
just a couple bucks, a credit card, and delusion. But
Delusion's
And
part
belief.
of it. Delusion,
And belief,
delusion,
yeah, I've always-
delusion's part of it.
delusion has
You
to be.
almost
yeah.
have to be.
Yeah, you almost have. I mean, no one's gonna believe in you.
What did
the
you
way
think?
You believe in yourself.
What do you
I
think
don't
when
know.
they told you 87% of or 97%, 92% of realtors fail? I was like, not me, right? Remember that stat?
Yeah, no,
I was like, not
it's
me.
I knew it wasn't me. I made rookie of the
Yeah.
year.
But that delusion, the Lulu is part of
You,
it.
you
Did any
I-
of y'all get coached or what is it called? Have Ernie Guerrero as your teacher back in the day?
No, but I've had a coach all but 7 months of my career. And those 7 months, there was 3 at one point and changing maps coaches, then 4 when I left KW. Dude, I almost quit those 7 months. I not quit. I would say stupid crap like I'm going to be a loan officer. No offense, but like you know what
Yeah,
I
I
mean.
get
Like I was like, or I'm going to go do this. I'm going to go do that. Like I'm the weird person that like if I'm not held accountable every week, then you're going to see me go off the rails.
Yeah. So that actually leads to literally what I have right here. The question. So we'll just real quick. Number 3 being hit that reference real quick. Okay. We already went number 3, number 4, being unprepared or lack of market knowledge.
We talked
Lulu,
about
you
that.
nailed that one. Number 5, poor communication. I think communication is a standard at a certain point in your career. I mean, that shouldn't even be on this list, but it is. So back to this, you can kill the reference. You mentioned something, and I had already written it down. Have any of you, and I'm going as far as to say that all of us, but have you been derailed at a point in time.
I got a good story. But
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
So if you want to take it away, I want to know how bad, and I also want to know what was next.
what point in my career? Beginning, mid, or now?
Give me the juice, the chisme, the...
So every successful advisor I've talked to, like my mentors, they've had it. But to me, it was a slap in the face of understanding it was your fault for thinking the way you are. So my mentor, and I'll try to write it down, but I remember I went one time to his office. I was like, I don't think this is for me. And it was like the building of the business, the getting book of, and he said, all right, so you got a 100% chance of succeeding. He goes, have you made the phone calls? No. All right, -40. All right, and now we're at 60. He goes, have you studied for this exam? No. All right, so -30, right? So you get the gist. He went continuously down. Mark, I was at a -60% chance of succeeding. And he said it's because you're not doing these things.
That's awesome.
That is a very good way to put perspective in your corner.
Yeah, he's like, this is all you control, right? Like
That's
this isn't
right.
like your boss telling you this is the stuff. I looked at the -60 and I was like, I suck. Like it is my fault for wanting to get derailed.
That's right.
Right. So the reason I think I'm not good at this is because I haven't put myself in positions to get better. So I remember, and we laugh about it now when we talk, because he's like, I don't even remember what I told you. I just remember you sucked. And I was like, but it's that slap in the face of like, I'm getting derailed because it's me.
Is it a slap in the face, or is it perspective based on reality?
Yeah, it's perspective. Yeah, I mean, it was my fault, right?
And
like
someone else's reality compared to your state of mind or perception of what it
correct.
is.
So getting derailed, I think, comes from you not having the systems, having everything involved. Like if you're getting derailed, it's because you yourself haven't put yourself in a position to get better and better and better and better and better.
Yeah.
So like one of my favorite books is Outwitting the Devil, right?
Okay.
By Napoleon Hill. And he just says the devil is you drifting, right? I'm going to go to the gym and get in shape. That's the goal. And then one day you're like, I'm going to take today off. So you drifted. I'm going to take the second day off. So you drifted. The third day. And before you know it, you completely drifted from the plan. So I think people get derailed because they completely drift away from what they were doing. And so when he showed me this was probably 2017 or 18. I always look at this. I'm like, if I'm not where I want to be, I mean, the percentages are just going lower and lower and lower because I'm not doing those things.
That's right.
So yeah, I've gotten derailed many times, and I've noticed when I get derailed, I always have to be like, why? And I'm like, damn, it's that man in the mirror.
And looking back now, you realize that he was just putting the KPIs, the needle moving activities, the critical success factors, all of those things, whatever you want to call them.
-60 more.
You suck.
That's hard.
-60.
You suck.
You suck. Yeah,
You know, opportunity has derailed me more than anything else. And what I want to say about that
I
is
agree,
like, is,
yeah.
you know, like helping up Laredo KW was a derailment. I learned so much, though. I don't see it as a negative. But again, when I'm doing like a 10-year plan with the people that I'm coaching, I always ask them like, who are you with? And what are you doing? Because, you know, I'm coaching this girl right now and she is single, and she's like, I was like, you're not going to have a boyfriend or girlfriend? Because this is what happens. If we only do the 1-year plan, well, that significant other is not in the plan. Even more so, I'm talking with my girl here, losing that significant other is not in the plan too. And so the biggest derailments have been opportunity, because someone has recruited me out of my own business.
Or you sold yourself short in your vision.
I got recruited out of my own business, you know, many a time. Now I'm very careful with that. And then also the derailment of like divorce, right? Like that's a derailment, and, you know, like, especially if, you know, it can be and it can't be, but, and, you know, these are like the things that, you know, in the 10-year plan, or the 5-year plan, if you're not looking for those variables, right?
Absolutely.
Like then all of a sudden you're going to go on the highway exit and get stuck, and you're like, oh no. And everyone's just keep on
Passing
going on
you
the,
by.
yeah. And so that derailment is for me has been stuff like a divorce, or sometimes it's a death.
Yeah.
But it wasn't it wasn't that bad. The opportunities that come from, you know, it's the 20% rule, the Pareto theory. If you're the top 20%, then the top 20% get all the opportunities because they're part of the top 20%, which puts them in the 10%, which puts them in the 5, which puts them in the 1, because all these opportunities are coming at you. You know how many times that people have asked me to own a mortgage company? Like a ton of times, but I'm like, nope, I ain't doing that. Or own a title company. I'm like, nope, I ain't doing that, because I need to stay on the highway.
Yeah.
I need to focus on myself. So opportunity has been the worst derailment for me.
And to add to that, you turned the derailment into the opportunity, the learning situations, simply because of your mentality.
Well, now I can attract agents, and I can, and not only that, recruiting is easy. Retention is hard. I can retain agents because of those experiences that I had. But for my real estate business, though, like my business partner will tell you, like we were on this trajectory, and then JJ left for 2 years. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
So, that was a key factor.
And many people could get derailed and stay there
Totally.
because they didn't have the foundations. They didn't have the mindset. They
Yeah.
didn't see those things as opportunities. They saw them as distractions. And
Right.
it's like, wait a minute. Two people seeing the same thing. One sees it as opportunity, one as distraction. This person's going to get their shit back together and use that knowledge, education, experience, and see it as an opportunity, seizing it, running forward, incorporating it in their new business plan. The other person, they're onto something else now.
Or you can be like Teflon Dawn over here, and she's like immune to anything. Like it's just like like it's water. It's just
Tell me about
like
your
water. It just
derailment.
fucking goes off of her Teflon.
Yes, I have been derailed. Yes, it was this last year. It was actually a year ago this month.
So fresh.
Yes.
Still hurts?
No.
Nothing
I'm
against
okay.
Lulu, girl.
I'm a dude deep down.
Yeah,
like I
she
can't
totally
I can't
is.
do it.
I'm a dude. She's a
So
dude.
yeah. It knocked me back
Those are
for
90s
about
babies.
a quarter,
Yeah.
Okay.
the last quarter, which is tough, Christmas and everything else, but you have to get over it because I have payroll, I have people that depend on me, I have my children,
Preach.
I had a settlement I had to pay out. So there's all kinds of stuff. I had to get back to work. But once you let your foot off the pedal in this business, like everything, and so you're
right.
going to feel it.
And it takes a good 60 to 120 days to get back on that horse going.
Yes. And so, you got to get back
But
out there.
some
You
people
gotta
get
work.
paralyzed. She said she was hit back a quarter, but we've seen divorce paralyzed.
Yeah, Lulu,
agents.
I've seen it bad. I mean, in my career, I'm the one that has to
Yeah.
deal with the assets stopping.
Us,
Right.
us
Oh,
too.
my financial planner and my CPA were like, "You're never going to recover. You're never going to recover."
Yeah, she's fine.
Like,
Hold
it'll
my
be
beer.
fine.
Watch this.
Yeah, it'll be fine.
No,
Hold my rosé.
I encourage the coming back because my dad did that.
Yeah.
My dad was the one that was completely kicked down.
You
to
have
the
to.
ground and came
So
back.
then it again. You focus. I compartmentalize. I can't think about all that stuff, and life happens for you, not to you. So what can I learn? I learned I never want to get married again.
Boom.
I learned that I am responsible for myself, and I learned that I can make shit happen, and I have to make shit happen. You got to burn the boat. The best way to take the island is you got to burn the boat.
Boom.
And you're either growing or you're dying. So what did I learn from it? I got to suck it up and I got to move on because nobody's going to rescue me. And you just get back to work.
I love this
that.
girl, dude. I
Absolutely.
love this girl.
That's strong. Now, for someone listening that doesn't have the tenacity, the experience,
Most of us are not like her, by the way.
No, absolutely. The mouths to feed, the responsibilities that you carry, having had that happen, what advice would you give to someone that doesn't have those things and is currently derailed?
Nut up.
And this motherfucker now.
Mic drop.
yeah,
Mic drop.
There you go.
I mean, you have to. Nobody's going to do it for you.
I can love Lulu.
I
think
can't
it's
tell
true.
you
Oh,
anything.
fuck.
If you're not willing to do it for yourself, nothing I tell you is going to make you
no,
do
it's
it
funny.
for
And I know
yourself.
That's wrong.
all of us, like as guys, we're thinking that.
Yeah,
So the fact
absolutely.
that she said it-
Absolutely. That's right. That's right. The idea of this whole new wave of I can do hard things
Yeah.
drives me insane. It's like life is hard.
That is probably the best answer. The only other answer I would give is this: figure out who you are and what motivates you. I feel like
That's the politically correct answer.
no,
That's
I
the
think
right
it's a
answer.
real one. I see people that
was cute, JJ.
No,
Real cute.
no, really. Like if you like there's internal motivators. Like Bobby has my business partner has the love for the game. We'll have a day off and I'll have all these showings under my name. I'm like, bro, who the hell's showing this property in the Dominion? He's like, oh, I am. I just want to go check out these new plays. I was like, dude, if it's my day off, I'm not using my super key. That's crazy. So Bobby has this internal motivator that he loves the game. Dude, I could do loans. I can do insurance. I don't have to do real estate. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't have the love for real estate like Bobby does. I wish I did. I do not. The second thing they have is like, that love for money, so that's super easy. If you're money motivated, then you're fine. Nut up. But then there's other ones like is your love for opportunity. And then there's external motivators like are you scared of losing your job or scared of being poor or whatever the hell it is? But figure out who you are, because you might grab the wrong coach, mentee, or trainer. And if you're not exactly like how they are, then again, square peg, round hole. And then you're going to be like, man, that just didn't work for me. But it's probably because you didn't know where you're at, who you truly are, like as a personality, and what motivates you. But once you figure those two out, then nut up.
Well, and I guess the better answer than what I gave, honestly.
That was a great answer. Don't let anybody take that away.
It's the one that works for me.
It's the best one.
But the better answer would be find out your why.
Yeah.
Mine was feeding my children, keeping a roof over our head, recovering financially from the situation that I was in, and getting back to work. Find out your why and really focus on those things. Because unhappiness comes from unmet expectations, and you cannot expect other people to live the way that you want or make your life easier, and you cannot expect situations to not occur. You have to expect the unexpected.
That's right.
So do not focus on that. Do not focus on your expectations. What do we tell people when we're going to give them bad news? You have to set the expectation. You have to have those conversations, and you have to have the internal dialogue to understand that what am I supposed to learn from this? How can I improve? And most importantly, how do I move on? Because I have to move on. I can't live here.
Yeah. Like I say, good news fast, bad news faster.
Yeah.
Guys, this has been an incredible discussion.
Yeah.
I mean, we went there in many cases. And,
Thanks, JJ.
and I believe that the listeners out there are going to be able to either relate to this or see it as something that they want to eventually relate to. Meaning maybe it'll light a fire under somebody's ass and go, okay, I need to get my stuff together. I let myself down last year. I let my family down last year. Maybe I shouldn't be in this industry moving forward.
Maybe,
but I think that the inspiration, the level of experience and articulation that was provided today allows people to make that decision and run this back and go, okay, that's what he said. Now let me go and do it. Because we can't, you can lead a horse to the water, but you ever try to hold a horse's head down?
Yeah.
Strong. But the idea behind these discussions is for us to continue to be transparent, to provide expert experience, and to have really no BS. And I appreciate you guys continuing to do that. Yeah. That's my goal for this podcast. It's continuing to go strong. I think we just hit 16,000 subscribers and
nice.
growing.
Congrats,
it's
man.
Congrats.
That's awesome.
That's big.
And is there anything else you guys want to end this off with? Give it each of you a go at it. Jump in the batting cage, swing away.
I would say just everyone needs to, again, figure out who they are and then focus on a habit. There's only one resolution, not New Year's resolutions. Give something all of your time, energy, and focus. And it might be as simple as just getting up earlier.
Yeah.
It might just be simple as like no carbs after 3. It could be as simple as, I think everyone's looking for this like genie that they rub the lamp and there's 3 wishes and they get a it's not like anything that you've ever wanted ever took time and effort. So just give that one resolution or whatever you want to call it, all your time, effort, and energy, that habit. You're probably 2 habits away from like being a totally different human being that would make your dad and your mom and everyone very proud of you. So just focus on that one habit, 2025, and nut up, obviously.
Boom. Yeah.
That too.
Robert?
I think I'm going to add on to the whole knowing who you are and also respect yourself. Because if you can respect yourself and be true to what you want to do, who you want to be, then I think you're better at respecting other people and helping them with their situation.
Absolutely.
So I think, truly figuring out who you are, what you want to do, respecting the contracts you make to yourself. And I think in turn, you'll be able to build a good business in whatever you do because you're going to do that same thing for everybody else.
That's strong. I appreciate that. Lulu, you want to kick us out?
Focus on consistency. Stay up to date on knowledge. Just do one thing every single day that can move that needle and make you better.
I love that. Yeah. Well, Ladies and gentlemen, those out there listening, I will reiterate a simple 5-step equation that I do believe is pretty solid in regards to business planning for 2025. Whether you had a great year, a mediocre year, maybe this isn't the business for you. Sooner is better, obviously, to determine what you're going to do next. But number one, ask yourself, what did you do in your business last year that you would like to change? Something that you'd like to remove, etc. Next thing, how much do you want to make? What is that one thing that allows you to get to the bigger things in life, and break it down? Allow yourself to go through that process. The second thing is tracking. Make sure you track what you do, because if you are essentially throwing things up against the wall, nothing's going to stick. You've got to make sure to track that so you can know what you're adjusting, what you are implementing the next year to make you successful. The third is how much do you want to take home? A lot of folks focus on GCI, which is the gross income. I tend to flip that upside down because it takes money to make money, and you got to make sure that you account and equate those things into the calculation. We already talked about what you want to change in your business. The last thing, write it down. Find an accountability partner. It doesn't have to be a coach. It can be a mentor. It can be somebody that you trust. But make sure that that person is going to truly hold you accountable. I think the best asset that you can have is somebody that will be brutally honest with you always. If you guys are getting something out of these discussions, hopefully you got something out of this one, because if you didn't, it's probably time to get out of the business. Make sure to like, subscribe, share this with a friend. I want to thank my guests one last time. Guys, you guys are freaking awesome. Guys, I promise to continue to provide you with experts just like this, with our opinions, experiences, and knowledge. So hopefully you can continue to level up your business or level it out. Till then, we will catch you on the next one.